Hello, today is May the 25th and I just wanted to give everybody an update on my garden and let you see how things have been progressing. Well, so it's been about a month since we started the whole garden, and I've got everything planted just the way I want it, and we're getting along. And here's the zucchini box, and you can see this is just 1 month old. It's doing outstanding. No zucchinis just yet, but there's a lot of new growth in there, very healthy looking. This is the squash box. I got too many to count. That's a good problem to have. And let me see, just all kinds of little baby squash in there. And here are some of the biggest ones. That looks like it'll be ready in just a couple more days. This is the eggplant. No baby eggplants just yet, but the plant is doing very nice, and you can see the difference in the growth from in a month's time. On the strawberries, I lost a couple of my strawberry plants, but the rest of them are doing pretty well. And here's my very first berry coming in right there. It's been pretty cold here for our part of the country. It's been a little bit colder than normal, and some of them just haven't been doing that well because of that. And also it's been pretty overcast, just like today, for the past couple of weeks, so we haven't had nearly as much sun as we normally get. That's the pepper box over there, and the habanero peppers, you can see they're tiny, tiny. They haven't done much in a month, but they're looking a lot better than they did before. And then the other ones are coming along real nice. They've got a lot of new growth on them. Here's the other pepper box. It's more the same. Just hit and miss on that because they're just not doing so good. Because of the cold, and then also because we haven't really had a whole lot of sun like they like. Right here, let me show you a lesson I learned. You see that little itty bitty? Some of my okra plants, I bought all these okra plants at the same time, planted them all at the same time. And the difference in between the growth on them is because on some, I disturbed the root system. And that's a lesson learned right there. I won't do that anymore, because you can see this right here is, 3-4 times as big as this little guy over here. So I won't separate these anymore. I didn't bother this one or this one, and you can just see this is night and day difference, so I just won't ever do that again. But they're coming along, and I even saw my first flower over here, so I'll be getting some okra probably pretty soon. Here's my new A-frame setup that I have. This A-frame is going to cover 4 boxes for me. I got this A-frame from Garden Supply, and it seems to be working out. It seems like it's going to do really well. I've got the cucumbers over here, and I had to restart these because the ones that were in there just didn't do so well. They just kind of got stunted. I think one night it might have got a little too cold for them, and the growth on those got stunted, so I just restarted some more. This is the only one that survived back there, so we'll see how they do. The cantaloupe here, as you can see, is already starting to go up the trellis and it's looking really nice. This is the watermelon. Not a whole lot of anything new going on there, but again, it was just because it's been cool and no sun. There's the beans, and hopefully this trellis setup that I have here that I think is just wonderful. It looks really good, so I hope it'll do well enough for the whole season to keep everything up. Now on tomatoes, they're coming along nicely. I got some great cages here. Again, I'm loving these. I got these from Garden Supply as well, and I'm loving these cages a whole lot better than this Ultimato, which is what I used last season. On this Ultimato, these little clasps right here just don't hold up that well, so I don't like them at all. I'm just using it right now because I set that up first, but I want to change that out next season as long as this cage holds up pretty well. And if this season is anything like last season, I'll probably have to add the extension onto these because this just won't be tall enough. But they certainly are a lot sturdier, because look at all this movement here, and then you can see these don't move much at all. So that's night and day on that. And here's the Sweet 100s, and I've already got my first fruit setting on that. You can see those right there. So we've got some stuff going on in there. And again, you know, it's the same thing. The tomatoes are not as far along as I expected, but they are alive and they're doing great. So we'll just keep going. Here are the peas that we have in the little potted plants that I have on the side of here. We've got some flowers, so we can expect something to start there. This is the Earthbox, and my rosemary's doing great. The cilantro's doing great, and there's the basil starting to come up, and some chives there in the back. The other tomato plant, the pepper, this is poblano. That's looking pretty good. And then I have some more strawberries planted over here, but I didn't want to disturb them and put them over in the Earthbox just because this one is doing very, very well, and it seems to like it a lot over here in this pot. And you can see I got berries coming up over here as well, so I'm going to leave those right there. And also I have another real good thing that I've been doing that I think has been working out pretty well is I've been sprinkling DE on the ground, and that's been helping with all the creepy crawlies that like to get up here in your garden and start to mess with things. And I see a bunch of them, like those caterpillars and snails and whatnot, on the ground before they even get to the boxes. So that's been helping out with that. I didn't want to put them on the plants just because it's kind of controversial, but that has been working so far as keeping them back just a little bit for me. So I'm going to keep going with that. And thanks for watching, y'all, and come back and see me again.